the BOP, the Blerd official podcast. We are back. We are happy. Oh my gosh, guys, we have been so busy. First of all, we want to thank all of our viewers. You guys have been watching all of our, old episodes. But it's funny because a lot of people hadn't seen them. So it's like they're seeing it for the first time. It was so good. But we're back with new episodes. And I've got to say a shout out to my host, Hilton George. How you doing, man? How you straight out of COVID?
Yes, that's what I need. A shirt. That's a shirt. Straight out of COVID.
Straight out of COVID. That's
hysterical. Yes. It finally got me, and it hit fast, and it was a good 37 hours of just just sit your ass down. Type, you know what I mean?
Because you've been sitting your ass down. You've been all over the world, man.
Look, I was out of town with COVID, so I had to get it right because I wasn't gonna be the outbreak monkey jumping on Southwest Airlines.
We got the whole.
I cannot with
that dude in the back of the plane.
That was me. Remember a couple years ago, Christy? I was at Dallas Comic-Con and I had the leg. I literally
it was a whole extra 5 days. Like it was crazy.
No, it was a week. It was like almost. It was 7 extra days, and I was like, my husband was like, "You stay there."
Over there.
And I was happy to because I don't even think I could have got on the plane. Like I felt that bad for like 10 days. I felt bad.
It was terrible.
And I just slept, and it was crazy. And Christi Renee is in the house. Oh, she is straight out of Hollywood today. Look at her. Ooh,
Lord, she got a Bellini.
It's been so long since I just pulled it right out the stage.
No, it's 5 o'clock.
I haven't seen y'all in somewhere. I haven't seen y'all in so long. I just needed to toast to my people because I miss y'all. I feel like it's been so long, but I mean, it was like a month ago. But anyway, I just saw you a couple of weeks ago, but still.
Yeah. Me and Christy have been traveling the world. It has been crazy. Guys, there's been so much that has happened since the last time we were together. Now, the last time we were together, it was BlerdCon weekend, and we were having the best time. I mean, it was amazing. And I remember we were all, at one point, I don't know how the election came up, but you know us, we're very political. And at that time, they were trying to get Joe Biden off the ticket. They were just doing Mr. Joe so wrong.
Uncle Joe. We done forgot Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joe, who saved us 4 years ago from the orange monster.
Right.
Did us a solid, came
orange
back,
people leader.
Saved us, has run an excellent economy. Now, we know Uncle Joe is old. Like, we knew that 4 years ago. We knew that 8 years ago. We knew that when he was with Obama. He was old then. I don't think I've ever known Joe to be young. I've only known him as Uncle Old Joe. So it was kind of heartbreaking to see how they were treating him. And it was just kind of shocking. We had a conversation. We were like, why did they wait so long? And we're like, what are we going to do? It's just so scary. It's just so scary. We were all shaking in our boots. Next thing you know, they move Uncle Joe out the way, and here comes Kamala.
Yeah.
Guys, I have never in my life, I didn't anticipate the excitement that would come with Kamala being added to the ticket. I mean, I remember we were in New Jersey and we got the news and we were like at a con and I was like, Christy, Joe Biden ain't gonna run no more. We were like sitting there, we were just like, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? Next thing you know, Kamala's being, he's endorsing Kamala Harris. Like within an hour, he endorsed her. And we were like, oh my gosh. And then Chrissy gets a text. It's like Black women for Kamala. We were trying to get on the Zoom. She was trying, little did we know the Zoom done broke down because it was over 100,000 women. Yep. I mean, it was like
I tried my best.
She was trying to get on, and I was like, what happened? So But needless to say, since then, it has been so amazing. It's since Obama, I have not been this inspired. Like, it has been crazy. And so, Hilton, I go to you first because you are in the thick of things. You in DC. Like, you're in the heart of all of it.
Right.
I know what the vibe is here in LA. We are a very blue state. It is like, yes, Kamala, finally an adult in the room. Yes, Walls, finally someone we can look up to, like someone we trust. It feels good. It feels happy. Yeah. It feels hopeful.
Yes.
How is it on the front lines in DC?
Well, I mean, let's go back to before, that fateful, terrifying debate.
Yes. Oh.
And the Cheeto, and it was terrible. And
yeah,
I was upset on Joe's behalf because I figured that people around him should have made a decision. Say either we're gonna hide the fact that he's not 100% and just kind of slide him in, and then whatever happens once he's president, we can work that out with the 25th Amendment, blah blah blah.
Right.
Or they just throw him out there, and they threw him out there, and they had to know he wasn't ready. They had to know that his mind was not as sharp, and he was drifting.
He was sick.
And he was sick, and but everybody here after a certain age, if it hasn't happened to you, BOP community, it will.
It will.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have somebody in your family, and you're gonna be trying to get them keys from them.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna want to give up them keys, no matter how many dogs, people, light poles they hit. They good. I'm fine. Don't worry about me.
They're going to tell you a story like too many times.
You listen,
same story.
And so I was looking at it from that perspective. I was like, I understand, because everybody's got that experience. And the person who's in it has worked so hard. Yeah. Joe's been running for president for the last 30 years. He's been in that lane and has gotten preempted by circumstance and by the system, blah, blah, blah. And so he worked really hard to get to it. And I imagine he was really struggling with letting that go, because when you're the one in decline, I imagine you're the one who doesn't know you're in decline because you feel like you're sharp, but
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that everybody wasn't really on board with Kamala, even during the last 4 years. We've talked about this, like how she's kind of been off scene, and she's barreling through staff members, and hasn't really had an opportunity to be out front. So we weren't really sure what the nation was going to do if she ended up being up front. It's like, it's going to be more of the last 4 years of her maybe not, jumping out there and capturing imagination. So when she came out there and was just really articulating the message, you got to remember, this is a lawyer, this is a prosecutor, making the case is in her DNA. And she knows how to drive that home. And she has not been in the driver's seat. And we'd never seen her. We haven't seen her in the driver's seat since the primary in 2015. Yeah.
And even then, she wasn't really ready. Like, it wasn't her time.
It wasn't her time. And the circumstances around this were wonky enough that we weren't sure if this was going to be her time.
Right.
But I've been so encouraged by watching the energy, because it's universal. I mean, I'm here in DC amongst the people who are the professional naysayers, right? I mean, just people who just say nay because I got to be the one making conversation. And even they are like, well, damn, like, she's not missed a step in 3 weeks. She has not missed a step. No. The rallies are through the roof. Her messaging's through the roof. She picked the right white man.
Yes.
To be, because people was like, you need to pick a black woman. I was like, what?
No,
we are. Come on now.
I was like, look, one glass ceiling at a time. Let's get her through, and then we'll see down two people.
We're gonna get the black coalition in there. Don't worry.
Right. So this brother, Tim Walz comes out, and I mean, he is America's coach. Like, he knows how to deliver a message. He's folksy. He is the guy that you can sick on people without him getting demonized for being the guard dog, right? Yeah. And there's nothing to hate about this guy. He's just jolly as hell. He's, he's funny. He just, he's the guy you want to have pregame. So it has been universally positive. I have not seen this kind of enthusiasm amongst people both online and in person for a candidate. Don't forget, Joy Reid was at BlerdCon.
Yes.
I know we're going to talk more about this in another show.
And we talked to her. Like, we literally were like, Joy, what is happening? Like,
and I'm telling you, she was at her panel. And Jason Johnson, her cohort from MSNBC, was interviewing her, as her and them talking together. And she made the case then. She said, if Joe Biden is going to abdicate his candidacy, he has somebody in line, and it's Kamala Harris. And at that point, there were people naysaying, and we should do an open primary and da. And you're like, no, she's right there. She's got all the qualifications. She's got all the vetting. It's all ready to go. He can hand those delegates right over to her, because they're her delegates too. She's on the ticket.
Yes.
That's what people forget. Like,
they signed up for both of them.
They checked them boxes for that one ticket. She's already got the delegates, and once she got them, it was a boom, bam, thank you, ma'am. It was ready to go. Yeah. So I'm pumped. I didn't think I was going to be. I wasn't sure how they was going to screw it up because Democrats.
They know how to screw it up.
Boy, they can snatch victory from the defeat from the jaws of victory in a minute.
Democrats love handing shit over to the Republicans. Like,
I don't.
The Cheeto can't stand it.
Yeah.
He like Eveline when the water hit her. She's going down the toilet.
We're going there next. We are going there next. Christi, we were together. We were together. We had every emotion when Joe stepped down. We had Kamala's been announced. Oh my God. And then it was like the excitement. And we were just like, I mean, as women, as Black women, it was just a whole thing.
It was, you're right. It was emotional, because I immediately go to the Malcolm X audio of the most disrespected person in America is the Black woman.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear that and you feel it because we walk in it in our colored skin, every day. And we're always under the microscope. We're always under attack. We're always being emulated while being attacked at the same time for the very things, and other people get the glory. It's a lot. It's a lot attached to this. But I will say that, if ever there was a time that I felt like me find me was not enough and I needed to go find somewhere to pledge. Like, I'm so ready. I'm so excited that the Divine Nine have galvanized in the way that they have. And it is definitely, like, even now I get chills just thinking about the road ahead. And before this announcement, it was bleak. I was frustrated. I've been celebrating my new little thing here, and I'm like, I got to get out of here. I gotta go somewhere. But largely in part because of the disappointment, and I just think about the journeys ahead. And it's not even so far-fetched for me that it's the people that we've read about or learned about in school. I learned growing up. I just think about my grandmother. And I think about what she instilled in me in real life. In real life, I've been a lifelong Democrat for a reason. And when people ask me about that and wonder, like, I'm not, until there are no parties, I know I've chosen my side. And that's another thing. I think a lot of people, for whatever reason, good luck with that, where you can't have autonomy and decide, and pick a side. There are times in life you have to pick a side. There's no fence riding. There's no creating some new thing. There is a mission, and we have a job to do, and it is protecting not only democracy, but protecting humanity. And if we were to compare the two sides, this is getting really vastly political, but it is about humanity. And I just get so frustrated when I look at the comparisons. These are night and day comparisons. There's no blending of, when you look at Project 2025 and you look at what Democrats and what our ticket represents, and those two people we are about to charge with the progression of this country. I'm sorry, all day, hands down, blue wave all day long, every day. And I'm looking at you cross-eyed when you say if you couldn't do that, you don't understand why. Because you're right. You said it when you said that Tim Walz is, he's America's coach. And it's something special about coaches. They have they're very unique in being able to unite and to
motivate.
To motivate and to bring that togetherness, and let's accomplish a goal together, and it's for the greater good. It's
but
not
also
about
good about checking you when you ain't when you ain't carrying out the play and you getting in the way.
That part. I'm sorry. The energy is wonderful. I love it. And I just still again, I love having those moments, especially, and if we can be together and be like, holy shit, what just happened? It was like, turn on the TV, and then we couldn't turn it off. Like, we were going to sleep to it, we were waking up to it, and it was just feeling better every second of every day. And so, and I still feel good. Like, I still feel good. It's getting better. But her whole Atlanta, she shut Atlanta down. Shut Atlanta down, and it was wonderful. Meg, everywhere.
Las Vegas. Arizona,
Detroit. How you shut down Detroit?
She's got people.
Where do people come from?
She's doing it.
She got that housing place in Florida on their golf carts who are ride or die.
Oh, the community. Yes.
Like Kamala for president. Like it's just gotten to where I think with her stepping in, it has put a spotlight on the craziness that's going on the other side. And it's not even a Republican thing because Republicans are like, this is nothing that
we don't know who this is.
Like this is like, I mean, they're talking about gutting the educational system, the judicial system, the FBI. They're talking about taking away
police immunities and presidential immunity. And he said if he wins, people will never have to vote again because he's just gonna be there.
And how scary is that? He is telling. I mean, it's almost like a senile man who is telling all his secrets. Like now he is so emboldened that he's just telling all of the secrets. And it's just a matter of, do you want this? Or do you want to just we need safeguards. We already know we need safeguards. We see other countries that are like going through hell in a handbasket. It's like they're running over here because they're so afraid to live where they are. It's not safe. And it's like, that's what you want. Like, and the majority of the people are excited because it's like, finally, there are adults in the room. Finally,
we're having an intelligent conversation.
And we're not just talking about me. I've never seen a person. He has had a mental breakdown these last 3 weeks. Like he has, like never before,
because he's had this before. He's always been depleted,
like you've never seen before. Like this is, but I think it's just on a whole nother level. He's never had competition where, like, literally, you turn on the news and it's all about Kamala and Walz. It's all about what have they done. It's all about, wow, look what's happening. Wow, and nobody even wants to talk about that assassination attempt. Nobody wants to talk about, they don't want to talk about anything. Like he literally thought he shut down Twitter the other night, and it's like, no, you didn't. Like it didn't. No one cares.
No one cares.
What did Tim Walz say? He caught our attention by just saying, it's weird. Like, we're not afraid of weird people. They're creepy, but we're not afraid of weird people. This is like some weird shit that's happening, and we can stop it if we want to. And
I don't think that we had a true estimation of how hungry the country was for hope, and now the calling card is joy behind the ticket.
Yes,
and I think that just like Christi was saying, people had made their decisions on certain issues, but that doesn't mean that they were voting on those, and their enthusiasm didn't come from that. They knew what Joe Biden was going to do as president because he just went through 4 years of him as president. We know what Donald Trump would do as president because we had 4 years of Donald Trump as president. There really shouldn't be a whole lot of conversation about, I can't decide between the two. It's a very, very rare occurrence where you have two people with back-to-back administrations coming back together.
Are we in the Hunger Games? Like, what are we not getting?
I need to hear more about the issues. And I was like, no, you don't. You just need to look back at your calendar and remember where we were before 2020.
Yeah.
And then go from there. So, when she comes in and I laugh when I hear all these Republican strategists talking about she hasn't done a direct one-on-one interview or a press conference and through. It's like, why would she? No. She is winning the media game right now with this play. She should run, in my humble opinion, run this all the way to the election. As long as that wave will ride, you let those people's enthusiasm go out there. You put out some policy papers. For the people that want policy, type it up, send it out, and then let them chew on it. But having to do these one-on-ones is not going to be the thing.
It doesn't make any sense. Like,
bring it to the people.
To the people. The people are excited. Why would
people want to see her? They want to see Tim Walz, and they want to hear this message of hope. And it's still, even though they're really doing a great job of ripping into Trump and his whole team and the Republicans, it's not a negative campaign. It's funny. We're laughing.
Write themselves.
They write themselves. It's all based on truth. When you say someone's weird, it's not like we're just saying it, pulling something out the sky. They're like, no. Have you read J.D. Vance's book? Like,
it's like a reaction.
It's like, hey, this isn't normal, and we can do that without doing a doctoral dissertation on Meet the Press. We could just say that's weird. And then that kind of encapsulates everything. It's a great Twitter meme. Young people can digest it.
Yeah.
and it's all true. So I think that we've got a really, really, really good chance of winning and winning decisively for this next election this fall. And all people got to do is turn up and vote.
All they can do is show up.
That's all we can do.
Do
That's
your
all
job. That is our job. It's part of your job of living in a country such as this. We've got to protect democracy. You show up and you vote for whomever it is you want to vote for. You don't stay at home. Like the people who are like, I don't vote. I don't even get that. You're an adult. This is the responsibility that we have as a country that is free, and we can have our own ideas, and we can have a podcast that talks and laughs, and other countries can't do this. Like, I don't need, like, it's almost like y'all need to travel and go and see these other places. And you would be like, oh, it's not so bad over here, but we got to protect it so that it doesn't turn into that. Because, I mean, it is like, it could easily be that. Like, they're literally planning it out. They that's the one thing you got to always say. The plotters don't stop plotting. The bad people don't stop being bad. Like, they are always, like, 10 steps ahead of plotting how they are going to take anything good down. Like, that is just what it is. And if you don't fight for it, what is the point? It's been funny to watch that party. Like, they talk about her because she laughs too much. I was like, I've never heard anybody get criticized for like they really have.
I remember they did it to Hillary Clinton.
Yes,
it's the same playbook. They're just regurgitating.
That's misogynistic. It's the misogynistic patriarchal bullshit.
It's their default. They don't know.
Easiest
they don't know how to. They don't know how to critique a black woman without attacking her for being a black woman. And short of the N word, they trying to say that she. I'm laughing because they're like, oh, she just turned black. I'm like, how much blacker do you get?
What?
They're going to Howard University and pledging Alpha Kappa Alpha. Yeah. You can't get no blacker than that. I think
like we've been done knew this.
Right. Mm-hmm. It's like, even if you weren't black and you did that, that would get you black cred just for doing it. And I'm like, when did she, not identify as black and biracial? It just doesn't stick.
And it's so funny because we're so diverse as a community. Like, we all have friends that are multicultural, multi-hair. So it's like so offensive. Like, it's now finally, I'm like, okay, finally people understand when you have more than one culture in your DNA. And it's like, this is the kind of stuff this is the kind of racism you deal with. It's like a new version. It's like, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, how many people are y'all going to offend this week? This minute, like, every time they open their mouth, they offend someone, and it's crazy.
I saw the best meme about this, and I said, do you know how an Indian American changes their race? You change your name. You change your name to Bobby Jindal. Right? You change your name to Nikki Haley. Yeah. Kamala. She ain't never changed her name.
Barack never changed.
Barack never changed.
Right. So if you have identity crises, that's on their side.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are struggling with that. That ain't on us. That's on them.
Yeah.
I gotta shout out this one kid though. Like, this is also part of the future. Is I have to first of all, let's acknowledge, after the women got on the call that very night, the black women got on the call the first night that the announcement came out. Black men followed, then white women, and then white men. And the tally of millions of dollars that were raised is just astronomical. It's unheard of. It's unprecedented.
If it was like a put up or shut up, they all put up.
And and we getting all the greatest videos. Like, I love it. I'm on TikTok. It's great. I'm just like celebrating. Like, and I'm also saying, it's about damn time. Because again, common sense and decency shouldn't be hard to come by, right? But I have to shout out this one young kid, Parker Short. Parker Short was the kid that went viral, that was dancing and singing to, of course, at the Atlanta rally that Kamala was at. Meg Thee Stallion was there, but in the interim, they had Kendrick Lamar's "They Not Like Us" playing, and this white boy, young white boy, performed his face off, honey. He just did a whole, and it was amazing. But come to find out, he's a young Democrat. He organizes on his campus, again, in a PWI. He is so for the cause. Like, he understands the assignment. He is 22, maybe 21, might be 20. I don't even know.
They are way far progressive.
It's a new generation. Yes, it's a new generation, and it's not just us, but I need us to match that energy. And so, I know we do. But now it needs to be like it's strength in numbers, like period. Yeah. We just gotta we gotta get it together, and I hope we just keep this momentum. And we start to recognize also what they need to do is start putting people in places, because I was talking about this earlier with my own 19-year-old and saying how we've got people that we've got to put in these positions, because Kamala can probably do 2 terms. And then we've got to be ready, like right now. Yeah. Who's coming afterwards? I feel like that's how 2016 happened. 2016 happened because we didn't get ready. We weren't ready enough, and we got lazy and we got comfortable. And we can't be comfortable. Somebody like you,
girl. She is. We lost all your audio. We can't even hear you. You got to reconnect. We can't hear you.
Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, you're muted. Something happened. Yeah, wait, I don't understand.
I'm here.
Okay, there you are. She done broke the internet. Done broke the box.
I'm here. I know, right? Because I'm trying to tell the people. I'm getting the people here. But we've got people in Texas right now, Beto, but Jasmine Crockett. Shout out to Jasmine Crockett. Like, we got to start getting them ready for these next several terms ahead, because I'm telling y'all, Gilead is coming. We better be careful.
Ooh, yeah, because I mean it's work. Yeah, so guys, if you aren't registered to vote, make sure you register to vote. Make sure you go. A lot of these states, there are different ways of voter suppression. I just heard the other day, Texas, you can go online and you cannot register to vote online, but the system online makes you think that you can. So you have to actually go to the county clerk's office. You have to actually do it, or find somebody. They're all everywhere where they're like, you want to register to vote, you need to go do that. Make sure you're registered. Check on go to voter.com and make sure that you are registered. If you've always been registered, there were I think 20,000 people who got, pushed out after between, so it's like, you may think you were registered and you may not even be registered. So just do it now. Do it now, because we are so close to the election. We don't even want it to get close. But guys, the reason for pivot. I don't even know how to pivot to this. But the other, a couple weeks ago, you guys know, one of the best, I will count it as one of the best Marvel movies to ever be made, came out. Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. And usually the third movie is just cool. It's just I've never seen a movie that I like better than the other two. It had heart. It had laughs. It had cameos coming out the
the cameos.
I mean, literally, guys.
Spoiler alert, everybody.
Yeah, if you haven't watched it by now, guys, the time is up. I mean, you're just we don't even have to say spoiler alert. It's been too many weeks. Guys, Christi and I went to watch it. We were at a Comic-Con, and this is a long weekend. We did 2 back-to-back, and we just kind of stayed together. And so I was I bought all the tickets. I was we're going. And I made all my friends come with me. And I was I don't care what time it starts. I don't care if we're up till 5 a.m. We're watching this the day it comes out, because I knew people would start spoiling it.
Oh my God.
I laughed from the first moment until the end. I screamed. I cried. I did everything in this movie. Guys,
nonstop.
So good. I've always respected Ryan Reynolds. I've always respected him, but he's comedian level funny. He is so intelligent, and so it's almost I go see a comedian's movie and it ain't this funny. I don't laugh this much. I don't laugh the whole way through. It's so smart and so crazy and so so much I shouldn't be laughing at that, but I can't help it. Every inner thought you have, he said out loud. I mean, and then to get someone like Hugh Jackman, who is this actor, and he just, the between the
who
two,
had retired the role. Logan, he was his swan song for the role, and how you get him back
song
is
what? Way to end it. Yeah. Oh, Hilton. what were your thoughts? Because we haven't even talked to you. Like, we haven't even compared notes.
You're not going to find a bigger Ryan Reynolds fan than me. You're not going to find a bigger Deadpool fan than me.
Christy wants to rival.
You know, but I'm telling you, I'm telling you, it's first off, if you don't know, Ryan Reynolds has been playing some version of this Deadpool character and the way he has performed his entire career. Watch Van Wilder, any of them. Watch Blade Trinity. Watch the Wolverine. You know, everything. Just watch anywhere where he is playing a role. That is his timbre, and he has been wanting to. Leading up to the first Deadpool, he had been wanting to play and put together a standalone Deadpool movie for almost a decade before the one that came out that started all this. So he is Deadpool. Let's start there. And for him to be in a position, and because a lot had to come together for this to work, 20th Century Fox selling the rights of Deadpool to Disney and all the characters that came along with that. And then getting permission, from all the properties that weren't purchased by Disney to lend cameos of those characters that they didn't own into these scenes, and then getting the actors who played these roles if they had already been on screen or had been fan favorites to play those roles if they hadn't been. It blew the mind. And so this movie starts off. It's in the middle of an action scene, just like the first one. And then it stops, and then it goes back to tell the story that leads up to the action. So you don't really get this opening pause where you've got to spend the first 20 minutes of exposition and everything. It starts right in with all the Deadpooling you could ever want right away and in stark relief. And I mean, again, if you felt some kind of way, and I want to go to what Karen was saying, if you felt some kind of way about Logan as a movie, which I thought was probably it was a perfect movie on its own, but it's a perfect standalone superhero movie without being a superhero movie. Right. And I've always admired that about that. I think it took a lot of guts to do the Old Man Logan story. For them to take a collective piss on that and make it funny and just completely irreverent to everything that we cried through and laughed through and went through and saying goodbye to Logan, which is, again, if you watch it now, it's still a standalone, excellent movie to watch. I can't turn it off if it comes on. And the way he does it, he's digging up his dead body and then he's frustrated that he didn't regenerate. So he starts beating the shit out of his corpse with the shovel. And then he starts having a conversation with this adamantium skeleton of Logan, and then the TVA comes in, which I think is so brilliant. To tie the TVA in. Because remember, when we left Deadpool off in Deadpool 2, he had the time machine from Cable. And him being able to skip through time was actually a trope from the comic. And for him to have a time pad and be able to go in and out of time and go to all these different universes, and the idea of a prime, what do you call it? A prime character or something that when they die, your timeline slowly withers and dies. And you're just, and the performances around this were just so spot on.
Oh, so perfectly cast.
So perfect. You get everything you want, right?
Yes.
But then you have so much unnecessarily funny and then unnecessarily dramatic. Like, it didn't need to be this funny to make this movie a 10. Him doing the choreography for Bye Bye from
Why did I know all the moves?
Like, you're just like, what the hell is going on here? And he's hitting, he's slapping these he's not skipping them through. He's like, he knows the moves. You're like, oh my God. And then to go into the drama where, he actually has a moment with X-23 similar to the moment he had in Logan. And you're like tearing up because you remember what she's talking about because you saw that movie. And you know who he is in this moment because we've seen him in this moment in another movie. And then he stows away in the MPV and shows up and you're like, and then just very quickly, and I'll leave this alone because I go for 2 days, but the cameos.
Okay, wait, hold up on the cameos because we're gonna do the whole thing. Yeah,
we're gonna do a whole thing on the cameos.
No, we're gonna do a whole. That's next.
I didn't see the cameos are the spoilers. I was like,
We're gonna get to it, but
hold on to the cameos.
Okay, all right, I'll stop there then. I won't say anything about cameos. We'll say that for later.
We gotta pass the mic to Christi because we were in the same theater together, and we were like, I felt bad for whoever. Like Johnny was sitting next to me, Steve,
poor baby,
my Power Ranger brothers, and I felt bad for them because I was screaming, laughing so loud, and Christi was like, we were singing all the songs,
and I'm louder,
and we're like singing and screaming, laughing, everything. And like they were just like, I wonder if I asked him last weekend. I was like, were you like? He goes, no, I was screaming and laughing too. Y'all were just screaming and laughing louder than me. That you didn't hear me. He goes, but I was too. But we left feeling like we needed to watch it again because we missed half the jokes laughing over all the other shit. Like,
whack it out.
That was that was my whole beef with the whole film was I can't pause and laugh at one joke because 3 other jokes I've missed. I've missed the next 3 laughs because I'm still laughing right here. It was nonstop. Like I'm just choking on air. I'm choking on laughs. Like the movie was so iconically funny and just, it was perfection. There was not a dull moment. There was never a questionable, like weird. It was not. So again, I beg to differ out there in BOP land. Hilton is not the number 1 Ryan Reynolds fan. I'm gonna be the one. Let me clear that up first.
I think you got competition from me too, Christi.
Well, let us do this. Let us unite as one because
come together.
Have I not always said?
Hilton has his mask. Yeah, we don't have the cosplay.
I may not have the mask, Hilton, but I'm still a fan. But have I not always said on this show, Ryan Reynolds can do no wrong. He can do no wrong. He is perfection. He has written, and I want to throw in the movie, even like Proposal. Like I hear it's in his throat. Like his whole throat is Deadpool. Deadpool is him. He is Deadpool. This movie had everything. It was almost, I didn't want it to end. And I love that we diehard fans, when I go to any Marvel film, because y'all know how I feel about Marvel. What do I always say? Again, they can do no wrong either. Even when they get it wrong, they get it right because they always gonna come back and fix some shit, right? And that's what I love about what Ryan Reynolds has done with this particular project and how he brought in other people, which I know we about to get to. But his whole mission has been, no, this is something like he's had visions for years, and now these things he's in his playground, and he gets to make magic. Not only
it was his dream, it was the perfect
he's
dream.
Making people's dreams come true. And and it's so wonderful. But I will say this: I love at the end of the movie how we were all looking at each other like, we're not moving. We're gonna watch all these. We're gonna watch all these 10 minutes of credits.
I'm not leaving
until they turn the TV off. We're not getting that. Like I want to hear the power go bzzz, and then we can get up and leave. We stayed there, and I'm ignorant. You know me. I'm gonna be like, they not real fans because they leaving. What they doing? They not real. They don't know better. So listen, Deadpool Wolverine is just hands down the best movie I've seen this year. And I am proud of it. I watch everything that Ryan and Hugh do together, every interview. Sean Lee, Sean Lee. Oh, this trio is so important. And again, the way he advocates for real legends. Is it's why we love him, and I love him and Blake. When I tell you, I've been a fan of him and Blake for the longest, and the fact that just all the antics that he does, even with Blake's newest co-star, like he just showed up on interview. It's just Ryan Reynolds is insane, but he is brilliant, and he deserves his flowers right now.
Right now. And this leads us to the cameo section of this. The cameos in this movie, like. Right when you think, like, you're like, okay, it can't get any better. It can't get, they brought out every single body. And literally, I was screaming like I've never seen a cameo before. Because it was always in a way, right? It was always in a way that you didn't anticipate it. Like, you just, like, you thought, like, I don't know, because that's why I went to see it the day it opened. Because I was like, I don't want anybody to blow this for me. I want to have the full feeling of all of this. And I literally have not really even talked about this in detail with anyone because I don't want to blow up for them. Because I'm like, right. It's been weeks and I'm still trying to like, please go get the full feeling of it.
And now here we are.
And here we are. But at least this is a deep dive. Guys, okay, first of all, he's searching for Deadpools, right? He's searching for Deadpools. And
Wolverines.
Wolverines. Yes, he's searching for Wolverines. And it's just like, oh my gosh. How do you get Superman to become a Wolverine? Like, how do you get him to say, I'm gonna do this? Like, I died. Like, it was just, we screamed at that. Then we get our boy, the man of all men, our Christopher Evans.
Christopher Jamal.
And we, like, Deadpool thinks he's Captain America. We think he's Captain America, and he's not.
Yes,
He's Johnny Storm, and we're like, we screamed for that. Like, we were like, oh my God, our mind is blown.
Did not see that coming.
Did not see that coming. And like, he was so hilarious. Like, the best scene, and you gotta watch the end credits to get the fullness of this scene. Because Deadpool, you think Deadpool throws him under the bus. You think Ryan throws him under the bus and says, that he said all this stuff about the bad girl who's like the nemesis, the Cassandra Nova. And he goes through this whole thing that Johnny said this and he said that and he did this. And you're like, he's like, I didn't. I didn't see that. Like, he is like, and then she kills him, and you're like, we're like, what? He's actually dead. Like, he obliterates him, right? And it isn't until the end credits that they run it back. And this fool, Christopher Evans, delivers that monologue like I have never seen him.
Christopher Jamal.
Good. But that wasn't even
brilliant.
Treat. Yes. I mean, that wasn't even the cameo that floored me. The cameo in our theater that got the biggest, like, we almost backflipped out of our seats. Like, we screamed. Like, it was Wesley Snipes. When Wesley Snipes came back as Blade, we freaking lost it.
That was it. I was done.
You did not expect to see him come stomping into the scene. And he's just like, you're like, what? Like, what the hell is going on here? Like, and he owned that character. He was there to make a statement. You got to remember, he and Ryan Reynolds have been playing up this fake beef for years since Blade Trinity because the characters didn't like each other. So they kind of played it up like they didn't like each other. So when Ryan Reynolds called him to do the Blade cameo, he was shocked as hell. And he was like, are you serious? Like, what are you doing? Right. And to bring him in and have him be able to play that role and just, I mean, it was just candy being thrown at the audience. It was just fan candy and people lost their shit. I saw it opening night during DreamCon weekend. I bought one ticket because I was not going to sit around dual jiving with people's time. I like, let me get my one seat, boom, IMAX opening weekend. Sitting next to two people I don't know. Like,
name the place, name the time.
No, I don't do that. I don't do that because people be bojangling. If it's on, they be I like, no. I said, let me get up my Uber.
Before. Like, we literally got it.
We had dinner and drinks before.
We had dinner and drinks before. Like, we were.
You got a good crew.
Ready.
Look, because I try to get organized people like the day before, like, hey, so we leave and we go here and do this. They're like, I'm like, you know what?
Karen organized this weeks in advance.
Say less.
Weeks in advance, like a month in advance.
Tickets came out. She got the tickets and let everybody know this is what it is.
Yeah, and I don't know anyone there, and I only had a couple folks with me, and so I was like, there was a loose crew. It wasn't my crew, so I get you. But that cameo and the performances around them. See, the thing you miss, the joke that you miss after the big joke that are just as funny is when Deadpool is making commentary after somebody walks on the screen. Like his commentary around Remy LeBeau's accent is funnier than Channing Tatum's accent. He's like, who is your speech therapist? A minion? I feel like we're losing great exposition here. What is going on? Like, and people are like, yeah, Channing Tatum for Gambit. And I'm like, you don't understand.
Yes.
That was a troll. The directors were trolling the fans by showing you how terrible he would be in this role.
Yes.
And the only person who acknowleded that and the jokes went through was Deadpool. Like Deadpool was doing all the troll, like this is terrible. This accent, this is what y'all wanted. Like, you know,
like this is all we can get. Like,
right, like what do you do?
Channing Tatum, he was there for the joke. Like he
was there, he was part of it.
He kept playing more into like the accent changed at least 5 times in one.
But you know what? I just saw him on Jimmy Fallon, and Channing Tatum talked about where that really is in his roots. Yeah. It's in his roots. His dad is from Louisiana, and it's in the country, and they do a mix of Cajun and all of that. He was like, those are my people. Like that's a real
the joke,
thing.
Is that he was accurate.
Yes,
he was actually Cajun accurate, but the people you got to tell, but the directors are telling the fans you don't want an accurate Cajun character because you won't understand what he's saying. So you have to get the guy from the cartoon who talks in a light accent, so you can actually understand. You can't understand a real Cajun, so stop asking for one.
Oh my gosh, it was so perfectly cast. Like,
and he's making dreams come true. So again, you talk about, we look at Wesley Snipes, we look at Channing
Marvel
Tatum.
Daddy.
He
nicknamed him. Like if you follow Ryan Reynolds on social media all week long, he has been giving shout outs to every single cast member. And he started off with Wesley and was like, this is Marvel Daddy. There would be no Marvel without Wesley. Like people forget that Blade was the one that it just basically put Marvel on the map. It was the first movie that drew a profit and was hugely successful. It wasn't Iron Man, it was Blade. And so he's like, this is Marvel Daddy. And like it went on, but he literally every week has been shouting out all these people because he knows it was like, this was a miracle. For us to pull this together, we had to call in all the favors. We had to do this. But the thing was, everyone loves Ryan. Everyone loved Sean Levy. And so when they came calling, even Madonna, she was like, he was like, we wrote this whole scene. And it was like, I had the song playing in my mind and I had it playing at the studio. I had it playing in our writer sessions. And then we were like, oh shit, we didn't ask Madonna, can we use the song? Like he was like, what are we doing? What if she says no? And even they went to her house and they were like, oh my God, I went to Madonna's house and had to ask her permission. And she had changes, but he was like, her changes made it better. Like he was like, it was so good. And I mean, it just was awesome. Like, I mean,
it was
Jennifer
so
Garner
dramatic. I just want to say that scene, that culminating, crescendo scene of the movie is so goofy and so silly and so funny in its structure, but it earns so much dramatic effect over the course of the movie that you're just like, like you're really emotionally invested in watching these two characters, standing here, to Madonna of all soundtracks.
It's the craziest thing.
It's just the chorus singing, and you're just like, oh my God, what in the world am I doing? Getting teary-eyed and emotional watching this
but
scene.
Still singing every word.
Singing.
Like we were like,
and I just remember it takes me back because when that song came out, and when she did that video, it was so controversial.
Yeah.
And so for them to pull that 80s hit into this soundtrack and perform to it, it was it was iconic. I mean, they just got it right. They got it right in every turn with all the Deadpools, all the damn Dogpool. Can we please talk about Dogpool? He just you talk about him shouting out all the different characters that came in. He just did a post. Ryan Reynolds just did a post in tribute to Dogpool, and she is the ugliest dog ever. She's got the face only a mother could love. Like her whole body, everything is just ridiculous. But she's
I think he won a contest for that.
We love her, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure. And he talks about how she was in charge of like the whatever it was. It was just he's just insane, even in his posting about the different individuals. But again, the common thread among what people say about him is that he is one of the kindest, nicest, most genuine people you will ever meet, and ever get to know. If you get to know him, you're the lucky one. And I'm like, That's why I be over here rooting for Ryan Reynolds.
Well, Shannon Tatum said, he goes, if anyone's had my back in this city, it's been Ryan Reynolds. Like, he has literally come to bat for me on different projects, on different things. And he didn't have to, but he's like spoken up for me. And he goes, if anyone's had my back. And I mean, they showed a whole thing. Shannon did like a love letter to him where it was like that first Deadpool, when it came out, he was at, Comic-Con when they premiered the trailer. And he said he had a Gambit shirt on. He ran to the back. He ran into Ryan Reynolds' arm. He didn't even know him. And he ran into his arms and was like, God. You did it. You did it perfectly. Deadpool, this is exactly what it needs to be. And from then, they've been talking about how can we work together, and it finally came together for this, and it was magical. Yeah. I mean,
we get a quick shout out to Honda because that was for them
family car
to put even a vehicle that's out of production, from a branding perspective. The Odyssey got shit on for 75% of the movie.
Yes,
up until the fight scene where they like murdered each other 50 times in it. And you're sitting there like, how does that conversation even happen? We're like, listen, we put a Honda Odyssey as a central character in this movie.
If I were Honda, I would re-release them right now.
For real, like there's got to be some kit cars out there that are just preserved, nostalgia enthusiasts. I was sitting there watching, it's like little stuff like that I was sitting there like, they could have it didn't have to be a Honda Odyssey. They could have made up a car.
They could have done anything.
Or not even acknowledge what kind of car.
Well, yeah, it could have been anything. They didn't have to be named.
It didn't have to be a thing, but it was a thing. And everything in this movie is a thing. And that's why you got to see it 3 or 4 times, because I saw it in the theater twice, back to back.
Yeah.
And it was like, there was a whole other movie happening.
Yep.
It's something I did not pick up. It's like,
we gotta go see it again in Chicago.
Yes. Thank you. Please.
As soon as he announces, and again, as soon as he realizes that he's Marvel Jesus, he comes off camera and literally grabs the camera and tells Fox to fuck off.
Yes.
And suck it. I'm going to the MCU, motherfuckers. Like, I'm going to Disneyland, motherfuckers. And then breaks the camera and then segues right back to the conversation. Everybody is like, what just happened?
Right.
It's just like that level of fourth wall breaking.
Yes.
But again, I love yeah. You're about to say it. I was just about to say that
20th Century Fox reference there and in The Void. You're just like everybody is getting roasted. Like
nobody was safe.
Nobody was
safe.
That's why it was so good. But you know what? That's why it was so good. That is why we are like, we could talk about this for 18,000 hours and watch it 10 times, because I'm telling you, we're going to go see it again. We're going to be together this weekend. We'll go see it again just so that we can we
can't forget Jennifer Garner. I mean, come on, Elektra coming back. Yeah, she was the other. We gotta celebrate her. Looking great. Yeah, it's amazing, and I love the Ben Affleck jab. Like, it's great. It's like perfect.
Nobody was safe.
That was hilarious.
That was so funny.
But even the original cast, like the little girl from Logan coming back.
Yes.
What's her name?
Negasonic.
Like, so many. It was just everything. And like you said, it didn't have to be that funny, but it didn't have to have this much heart. Like, it had so much heart. And I was even talking, like, I was like, if we could pick it apart, I mean, you could potentially if you want to, but it was like, there was so much heart and so much, like, smart jokes, funny jokes, stupid jokes. Like, it was everything.
Yes, it was everything.
Why would you pick it apart? Like, it's like, who cares? Like, whatever. Yeah. And I saw some people trying to, and I was like, give it up. Like,
what a waste. I mean, that's just
movies.
Exactly.
You hate movies.
Like, you hate life.
You hate yourself. You hate yourself. It's okay.
There's no way. And like, I think Christians try to get mad because he said he was Marvel Jesus, and I was like, guys,
oh my God,
stop. Like, but that didn't even catch.
I'm glad I didn't see
any. Like, it didn't even catch me. It was like shut it down. Like, it's, if you can't go in here and laugh, and if you can't just loosen the fuck up. I don't even know any other way to say it, guys. Sorry for my French, but if you can't just,
we've said words this show.
Yeah, it's like, then I don't know what to tell you. But Ryan Reynolds is Marvel Jesus.
He is Marvel Jesus.
He literally
got it right.
And I'm going to say this, and okay, so if there's like a scroll, this is not live, so you see when it happens, you'll know what's going to.
Yes.
I think this was probably the most entertaining Marvel movie since Endgame.
Yes.
From a reaction standpoint of me in the theater, just losing my shit because of what is happening on the screen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Best since Endgame. Endgame is still top. But I was sitting there like laughing, crying, screaming, clapping, standing, bumping, all the stuff that I was doing.
Things.
Yeah. It just, that was the only way I could describe it to people without spoiling it when I came back the next day.
Yeah.
And, you know, and to you guys in Bopland, you do need to see the first two movies to really understand the context.
Understand the comedy of
if you don't watch the first two, you're gonna get there's like 25% of this movie you will never understand. So just it's
and
worth
you're missing out.
Yeah, it's on cable,
funny.
It's free. And they're great movies.
Yeah, like they're literally handing it to us right now. Like you can watch it. Like I mean, you can watch it anywhere. So it's like you got to watch it. Just set yourself up for just more laughs. Like it's almost like it makes it even more funny. Yeah, but you're right.
I have to celebrate what Ryan said, you know, in several, he was on The View. I was watching he and Hugh on The View.
I watched everything they were on.
And everything. And he said, this movie in the midst of everything we've got going on, and these are two individuals, and Ryan in particular, two individuals who aren't from here, you know, from the United States of America, who are very aware, who are very, I think, you know, forward motion. They would like a more positive outcomes for us as a country. He said, take a pause and just go get this feel good friendship, brotherhood, you know, love. Like it's everything. You got everything, and you're gonna laugh. We got to be able to laugh. Like it's a healing film. And he did not disappoint. He was absolutely on point with that. And again, I've got please let's see it in Chicago again.
If you think about the movie, like the main objective that Deadpool was on is he was faced with losing everything he loved, everyone and everything he loved, and with that staring him in the face, that was the motivation for everything. And then he gets partnered up with Wolverine, who lost everything he loved. So it was like. It was just the like I said, there didn't have to be this much heart. We could have just rode the jokes all the way home. But the fact that they put just like you really were wanting you wanted them to win. You wanted him to save his loved ones. You wanted him to just figure it out, you know, and you wanted to laugh. I mean, it was like, it was undeniably
and we got to see Hugh with no shirt on. It's like, come on. Like, what are we talking about?
He is just daddy.
Like, daddy, honey,
day. And just by the way, like it's like, oh man, I just,
So it's a whole other sideshow, right?
You might not be able to talk, but I
can. You
had
Christopher Jamal, Ryan Reynolds, and Daddy Hugh all in the movie, and Wesley. It was like, all of them. Like it was like,
they got Christi. They got Christi making an educated wish.
You know what? It was a lot. Yeah, they fed me well, honey. They fed me well. It was nice.
Okay. Well, guys, that is the end of this show. We went from politics to Wolverine and Deadpool, but it was the best conversation ever. Oh, we missed you guys. We missed our boppers. We missed you. If we had to rate the movie, what are we giving it? 10 bops?
Oh yeah,
10 bops. 10 bops. It gets 25 bops.
25
bops. A million bops.
30 on screen. We got 30 on screen.
Yeah. But 50 just on GP. I mean, like 100 just because it's Go see it again and again and again and again. It's made over billions and billions of dollars. It's worth it. So
Ryan, we extend an invitation whenever you're ready to come through. I'm just saying, you know, I tag everybody. I don't have no shame.
You are invited to the barbecue, Ryan. You and Blake.
I'll sit out that episode. I don't think I'm gonna get a word.
You have to be here. You have to be here.
Just
we're number one Ryan Reynolds fans. We have to be here.
I am. But I feel like Christi Renee has something specific she wants to say. I don't know. I don't know if I want to get on that message. Step on that message.
With all due respect, though, you know, how to keep it classy. But I mean, he knows
he's fine. Yeah, they all know they fine. That's why they do what they do, and they got the trainers that they have
too.
Yeah, Blake is fine.
Blake. She is beautiful.
Honey, Blake was showing up in them dresses. I was like, girl, so like them kids look good on you. Like, she got a black booty now. Sure,
them hips, honey, them hips got it. Yeah,
she keeping that shape, so I like it. Anyway,
okay,
we gotta go because we are going down the tunnel,
down the rabbit hole.
See, put your glasses on. Guys, this is the BOP, the Blerd official content. I can't even talk. The Blerd official podcast, not contest. The Blerd official podcast. We love you. Forever. We mean it. Wakanda forever. Blake forever. Ryan forever. You boppers forever.
Oh my God.
Peace.
Oh Lord, get down. Get right there.
Tune in every Tuesday for a new episode of the BOP, the Blerd Official Podcast.